I also like forgot why I started this video, because I did this because I have a voice memo on my phone of a lot of things that happened at Sundance. I don't know why I was so inspired to record moments, because I knew they would be so interesting to look back on with time. And I have years of these, like every year that I went with different films, I have recordings. You know, there was one that I just was listening to where we're at the music moment of the show. You know, I mean, it was like a party and everyone was screaming as Robert Redford's there, and everyone's listening to this music, and the song is like, your lips taste like sangria, and all of this is like washing over us because we're there as directors. We know we're there because our musicians, the songs that are made for cinema and the scores that are made for cinema are two huge fields in music and are part of who we are as directors. You don't have Jaws without the you don't have it. You don't have that fucking film. Like, think about that film without I don't have Bitch with all the music in there. I don't have Collection with all those Scottish voices. I said I want Natalie Clark, my music supervisor. I said I want all Glaswegian voices or Scottish voices in this film. Like, everything in Collection, if you listen to the song, it's a Scottish accent, because everyone who's in Scotland who sings with their real accents, like the Biffy Clyro boys, Simon Neil sings in his accent, and you go, ooh, that is a song that was in Egg 2, my film that Christina Hendricks, you know, was in, and I go, oh my God, Anna Camp was in it, and I go, oh my God, the music was everything. Jared Smith made the music for Good Dick. I said, yo, I want you to do the music supervision, I want you to do the songs, and I want you to do the score for this film. Like, I got him to do all of it because he was a musician who played in this band for Genius, and he used to play with his feet, and he used to play guitar like that and guitar with his fingers doing the chords and sing back up. And I was like, you're doing like 7 things there, so maybe you could do 3 and do my film. And just because we couldn't have money, I didn't have like 25 million for the music budget, do you know what I mean? So I couldn't be like, let me get Hans Zimmer to fucking, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm gonna get Jared Smith to become like part of cinema and do this for us. And he was making so much music in his brain for the film, and the thing that we didn't ask him for, I didn't ask him as a director, I didn't ask him for the credit song, because I was cutting the film for like a year. I went to Poland for the summer, and I was like away, and then came back and cut the rest of Good Dick with like a perspective that was so different. And it wasn't because I watched Polish cinema when I was there, which I would have watched Warsaw 44. Please watch Warsaw 44 if you're out there. It's on, I think it's on Prime or something. It's by the Warsaw Uprising and weak Polish kids. You're just like, oh. And all that I love is the other Polish film. It's so good. But anyway, there's so many Polish films that you go, yes. But I wasn't even watching Polish cinema. I was just like hanging in Poland, you know what I mean? Hanging with my whole family and my niece, and feeling that Tara was part of my life. And I was so grateful to have this little kid around to give you perspective and keep you humble and all that. So when I came back to finish the film, I was like, yo, we need a credit song. Every film needs a credit song. And I went back to Jared and I was like, I know you just like devoted your life to this and did everything for our film. Can you do one more thing, which is just one credit song for the credits? And I said, I'm trying to like clean up all my shit or something. I said to him, the reason why I became a director is like, I was looking at a laundry pile one day, and instead, because I'm such a clean freak, like I love everything to be perfect and in its place and organized and folded and rolled up. Like I like to roll up my towels like they do in Greece. And just so my friend Marianino, who I know from Andre Lascaris, my DP, she rolled up her towels instead of folded them. And I was like, come on, man. She's got this mansion house in Kifisia. I'm like, I like that. She's got my name. I'm going to roll my towels for the rest of my life. So actually, you can see I've done what, like, who does shit like that? Me and one other girl in Greece who I lived with for like the whole summer and love her. And we just were silently like going to different islands swimming. Anyway, after Andre and Tatia got married in Greece on my birthday, everyone left because Americans stay in Greece for like 4 days because they're there for the wedding, and I was like, I'm staying here for like the summer. I'm not going away. So those trips where you just feel like you're a normal person, what Robert Redford did when he left, he wasn't a movie star and he just lived in Greece, and he lived in Italy for like a year and a half with his family. He had 2 kids at the time. You just go away and then you come back and you have a better perspective. So I came back and I had this thing where I had to just ask Jared, like, for one more favor. The man who's given me, Jared Smith had given me 1,000 favors doing the music and the score, you know what I mean, by himself for a feature film. Like, come on. And he did go to Sundance and he did see it, and his girl was like, this is good, like, this is good, man. And I was like, correct. Like, they got to be part of it and see that Utah has that part of it. It's not just Utah, it's like Sundance is there and people make shit and they show it, and artists are brave there, and we get to show what we did and people get to talk about it, and you go, oh my god. But anyway, so I said to Jared, I am doing my laundry. I thought about doing my laundry because that's all I do, is like I do laundry, I do my washing. But instead of doing that washing pile, I thought to myself, instead of washing that laundry pile, I'm gonna direct a movie. I'm just gonna become a director instead of focus on like how I can perfect my house, like where I live. Fuck that shit. I'm gonna let that go for a minute and just be in the space of, I'm creating some shit. I'm transforming from an actress to a director, so I may as well take the time to do that since I want to. And then because I told him that story a long fucking time ago, because he's my mate and he knows me from like before, like I hadn't done fuck all when I met Jared. I used to just like dance at Virginia shows in the front row and like do all their moves, to the point that I did the choreography so hardcore at like all these places, like at the Roxy, at like Viper Room. I was like in the front row and I taught the crowd this dance, like choreography to their songs, in line with what the fucking lyrics are. So Virginia's put that choreography in one of their music videos, and I was like, you're welcome. Like, it's just shit like that where you go, yes, like that's part of our era that we had back in the day, and we're all very excited about shit. But I literally was just a mega fan of his band, and then because Juliet and Joaquin are deep friends, and I said, he must have known that story for a long time ago, because Jared went away. He didn't say fuck all to me. He was like, yes, I'll do the credit song. He fucked off. He came back and he had the mess. And if you want to cry and you want to like just chill out a wee bit, like listen to the mess, because he made that like pal to pal for me. And he was like, I'm making this for you as a mate, to let you know, and for the world to know that this is what the movie's about. It's about the guy saying to the girl, like, let's just chill out. Don't worry about the mess. We'll figure it out later. Like, we don't have to clean up the mess. Let's just be together right now. And that's what Good Dick is about. You just go on a wee journey with our film, and it's very life-changing to see that none of the guys have makeup. I didn't have makeup. Like, I barely wash my hair. I definitely had this thing where we rehearsed that film so much. I was like, we're doing a play for the crew, so all you cunts have to know your lines. You have to know your blocking. We're not fucking about. Don't change any of my dialogue, because I'm not about that. You're not changing anything. Like, I was so strict, man. Like, I don't know. I guess, like, I had what I thought was a point to make with it, and if we started fucking about too much, it would all fall apart. I felt like you can't just, like, improvise your way out of everything, you know what I mean? Like, it has to make sense in a 3-act structure, you know? Anyway, what the fuck else were we doing? Amberly Coulson, my best friend, was there every fucking day rehearsing with me, and all of my dudes, all she would do was be on book for us. So if we forgot our line, we'd be like, what's the line? And Amberly would be like, it's this. And then Amberly and I made Always Worthy together after that, because I was like, this chick is cool as fuck. She's not just my best pal from like acting class in Los Angeles. She was from Orange County, and I was like, what is that place? And she took me there and she showed me where she went to school, and I was like, oh my god, I love her even more, because she's like this little Zen monk inside of this like Orange County babe. And you go, wow, like, she's so clever. She wrote this script It's called Worthy. We called it Always Worthy. It was like epic to make it. I made it after Good Dick, and I felt like, oh my God, the music as well had to be all female voices. So that's what we did. But also The Mess, if you listen to that song and you watch Good Dick and you just listen to the credit song, I always feel like credit songs are the most important thing. Obviously every other song is too, but you just go, that's what the whole movie's about. Like Jared Smith was able to go bomb up with Good Dick. What Dun Dun did for Jaws, like Jared Smith did for our movie, and made it into the film that it is, because you don't have a soundtrack like that anywhere else on the fucking planet. I'm sorry, that was so Los Angeles 2020 fucking 4 vibes. Like it was Los Angeles 2006 is when we shot it. Yeah, so I wrote it in like 2005 or something. No, I fucking wrote it 2006, like January, spring, and then we were shooting it by the October. Like we had producers, Cora and Jen, I met them at Ione Sky's. I'm not joking. I met my producers at Ione Sky's house because there was a party for... Why was there a party for babysitters at Ione Sky's house? Because Daphne Javich is the answer to everything. So basically Daphne knew... Obviously, Ione is like my bestie from Daphne being my bestie and being like, I love these people. And also, Daphne did the costumes for Good Dick, which you cannot lie is like the most incredible shit. I've never seen somebody put laces on a man the way she put laces on that boy. I was like, oh, come on. I mean, that is cinematic. And Daphne Javich had done plays in New York. She'd done all this stuff. She would like sing, there's a party in the USA, like every day on set. And I was like, that is so cute that she's singing that, because that was originally an English girl who sang that song landing in LA, and then it turned into an American Miley Cyrus, but it was actually like just a Cockney girl landing in Los Angeles being like, will I fit in? But also I met my producers all because of just my mates being nice and me saying to them, hey, I know you guys are doing the babysitters with Catherine. I'll read that script and you can read my script, Good Dick, because I wrote the script that I'm going to direct. That I'm directing. I said I'm directing. And they were like, yeah. And they were like, and then I was like, we'll have a notes call. We can give each other notes. So on that notes call, I had said, yo, here's what I think about babysitters. And here's the notes that I have, like 3 notes or something on it. And then they said, yeah, we could give you notes for this, but we also just want to work with you on it and be your producers. And I was like, that's cool. So that happened at that point. And they said, Mariana, we want you to like foreshadow. Essentially their note was, they said a lot of other shit, but their note was, they just wanted to foreshadow the sexual abuse a little bit more. Like they were like, maybe there's a phone, Cora was like, maybe there's a phone call from her father that's like on her answering machine, or because I think back then everyone had an answering machine. That's how fucking long ago it was. It was like 20 fucking years ago. Oh my God. Almost. It was 18 years ago or something. It was 18 years ago. But I was like, oh. And then Jen was like, yeah, maybe it's like somehow he does something and you just go, oh no, like that's him and he's the bad guy or whatever. We feel the ominous vibes of the sexual abuse a little bit beforehand, so it's not like coming out of nowhere. You know what I mean? Like out of nowhere. And I was like, yeah, I mean, that's a great note. And I got cast by Jenny. Oh my God. Jenny cast me in a play in Montecito, actually. Oh my God, at the Ensemble Theatre Company, I was doing this Dublin Carol Irish play where I got my equity card and I was like, this is like my dream. And I was living in like the shittiest hotel, but I loved it. Like I was like, oh God. My hotel was on the ocean and I was like, get fucked. I could just like see the water and then go to the play. And for the whole time I was thinking about Cora and Jen's note that summer and thinking they have the right idea, but I don't want, like the instinct is correct. You have to foreshadow it, but I'm not going to do it with an answering machine or like whatever other options they gave as a concept. They were like, maybe it's this. And I was like, it's not those things, but like, what is it? And then I wrote the scene where like he's having a cereal and my character just walks up to him and like kind of rapes him, but doesn't rape him because it's not rape, but also that's what happens to her. So she's like acting it out again, or like it wasn't exactly like that, but, and she's just saying fuck, fuck, fuck or something. Like, that is what I wrote to foreshadow the idea of the sexual abuse. And then I sent them that scene and in the whole script, like where it was going to be. And I was like, yeah, I foreshadowed the sexual abuse a little bit more. And they were like, yeah. Like, they read it and they were like, Mariana, you did foreshadow the abuse. Like, you know, and I was like when I was rehearsing, I actually rehearsed that scene. Like, I remember I rehearsed it like it was a normal scene. Like, we went to acting school, man, so we could do anything. Like, if you're like, can you be a fish? I'd be like, yeah, what type of fish? Okay, yeah, I'll do it. Or what is it? Okay, what, in the rain? Fish in the rain, done. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it doesn't have, why would it be out of water? Why is it in the rain? Like, it doesn't matter what the questions are, you just do it. Like, you're an actor, so you're like, I'm gonna do that. So, like, whatever the idea is that comes to you, you're like, yeah, it's fine. It just made me laugh so much that Cora and Jen always loved that, because they said, working on Good Dick, my producer said it was like going to a spa, because they got to just relax. They didn't have to worry about me. They weren't like, oh my God, what should I do now? Like, they didn't have to keep tabs on me, because they just like watched the creation happen, and we were so prepared, and the actors were doing a play for the crew, and the crew was like, this is amazing, and they felt good because we knew all their fucking names. You know what I mean? Like, I knew the crew's mums' names and shit. I'm not like just trying to get my focus puller to get lost or something. Like, I care about everyone. So I was like, yo, focus is like such an important part of this film, and like, focus is everything in a feature film, especially this one. Like, and I just remember just being so excited about that thing where we're sitting at Sundance many, many years later, and Robert Redford's being yelled for. Like, they're singing about sangria, your lips taste like sangria, and all the musicians and all the people who make films, like everyone who does a score for a film is there, and like there's these composers there, there's people who have just done who've there with their first band, who's the first time ever had a fucking song in a film, and you're like, yes man, like there's everybody there. And like, Robert got to like hear his name being shouted out as if he was the angel he is to us, you know, like, Robert Redford, like, and the singer says like, everyone say Robert Redford, and then we all just are like, Robert Redford, and it's such an epic voice recording. I wish I could put it on here so you guys could hear it. I mean, maybe I can play it on my other phone, but it was very full circle, and I didn't even think about that at the time, because it's just part of everything. Everyone goes, yeah, Robert's the fucking bomb, he's the best. Like, and for the singers to add a shout out to Robert Redford in their wee song is like giving and generous, and such a gift back to him. Like, you could see it's like all washing over all of us, and us all being like, wow, like the music there, the music at Sundance. And then there's like a Sundance music section, I think it's called like ASCAP Music Cafe or whatever. That's also an epic part of the whole journey when you go, because you get to watch and listen to the most important part. There's so many important parts to making a film, but the most important part is of cinema can be the song. Like, the song tells you everything about a director. It tells you everything about, like, does the director talk to the music supervisor? Does the director give a shit? Because my thing is, like, with Natalie, we're like the same person. With my music supervisor, I talk to her about everything and explain what the moments are. And I said to Natalie about collection, I said, Natalie Clark, I need you to do collection as my music supervisor, but I want you to do all Scottish voices, and I want to have your song Crossfire be like at the end of the movie when there's a cross. I can't even do my fingers as a cross just now. Why am I trying to do a cross with my fingers? Because that's how I used to do it in the meetings about the scene for the movie. Jesus, I used to go like that. That's what we're shooting. We're shooting this like place where all the characters, it's a car chase movie, but it's a love story. It's Romeo and Juliet lives at the end. Because all my films are like, the woman is okay at the end, because why are we all killing our mums? Just let her live. And the sacrifice of Romeo isn't like insignificant, but it is because he loves her. And you go, oh my God. It's a good alternate ending to Romeo and Juliet. Like, what if Romeo and Juliet ends with them being okay? Sort of how at Stage Beauty, you know that film where he almost kills her. Desdemona is so pissed off that she doesn't get to play Desdemona anymore that she's going to kill her like assistant butler lady or whatever, housekeeper, who's like becoming Desdemona, because it's a time where like male actors in Shakespeare stopped and women took over their roles, and those men were so upset because they didn't have a job anymore and they didn't want to be Othello, but he has to be Othello. So Billy Crudup is in it, and he's forcing himself to go from a woman who's always been on the stage as a woman to a man playing a man, and he has to play Othello. So he definitely wants to kill her. He wants to kill Desdemona, Claire Danes, in real life. Like, he actually fucking tries to kill her on the stage, and it's in front of the king and in front of everyone, and the whole audience for a second. At the end of Stage Beauty, the film goes, she's dead. He really killed her in real life. Othello killed Desdemona, and the character of whatever his name is, starts with a C. I can't remember his character's name. Kills this girl, you know, and the actress, and you just go, oh my God, she's dead. And then she comes back to life, and at the end of the film, they're like behind the stage, and he's so fucked up because he says to her, she says, you almost killed me. And he's like, I did kill you. And they're both out of breath. And then, and he says, but you didn't die. Because that's what happened. Like, he tried to murder her in front of everyone, and she came back to life. And you just go, when she starts going, when her breath comes in, you go, the whole audience is like, and then at the behind the scenes, she goes, so what happens now? And he goes, I don't know. But I was like, yo, what if after that, they just like stay together and are together forever? But it's one of those things where you're like, wow, there's a lot of like, we almost died vibes, and that's why films are good. We almost died. You almost killed me is a funny thing to say to a real. If that happened in real life, you'd be like, wait, so I have to tell my mum now that you actually almost fucking killed me. So don't know if she's gonna be cool with you coming to dinner, you know, for Christmas and stuff. She's probably like, that's the guy who killed you on stage, right? Do you want him to come to Glasgow, or like, probably not. Since he might fucking try and kill you again. He could kill her at any time. That's the part where she's like, you almost killed me. Like, if you watching it, when I was a teenager, I used to watch that film and go, God, this is the most beautiful film. It's so epic. I can't believe he almost killed her. Like, he almost killed her. He killed her, and then she didn't die, and then she's alive. Oh my God. And you just go, oh my God. Like, whoa. But then it's such a thing about love where you're like, they did everything. They tried everything. He tried to kill her. He tried to do all this stuff. And now they can be together and like have, you know, a white picket fence and stuff. And you just go, are they going to have a white picket fence? I don't know. It's so intense, that film. You have to watch it to know what I'm talking about. Because I thought a lot about that when I was like, why does Juliet always have to die? Let her live for fucking 5 minutes in my films. She always lives at the end. Like Shakira Barrera's character in Collection. She did glow with me. Shakira Barrera is the most beautiful actress from Nicaragua, but she's also born in the States, raised in the States, and I don't know, like I felt very Ken Loach vibes when I was thinking a lot about fucking another person who just like raised me really well, Robert Carlyle, like a really sweet Scottish Glaswegian who's just like such a good husband and a great father in real life and plays Begbie and all these crazy characters. But when he's a director, he was like, Mariana, we're such artists, you know, because he just directed his film and he was like, we're such artists, like we're such directors together. It's so artistic. And I was like, I know, man, like it's so like artistic. But I remember thinking about Carla's song for Collection, and I made Alex Pettifer and Shakira Barrera watch Carla's song like 1,000 times because I was like, yo, in Carla's song, this is what I'm feeling. You know, the vibe of Nicaragua was honored in that film. And you go, okay, let's try and do that here so we're not like having Shakira's character be Latina, quote unquote, but she's actually from Nicaragua, you know what I mean? And she's got like a flag in her house, and like her whole vibe is that. So you can see that that's what she's doing and that's where she's from. And it's so specific. And also, I felt like, because the woman gets a check in that film, she gets to like Shakira's character gets to live her life after she's been like hounded and like she doesn't have any money and she's like divorced and she's been like abandoned and her ex-husband is a crook and he's in jail and he's not got any money and she has to pay for all his debts, and you're just like, she's got a $5 million debt on her head because of this husband she was with, and you go, oh my Christ. And like ICE come and try and take her away, they're like threatening her son, and Mick Vogel's so fucking good in that scene. You're like, when it's like when I would see people play Nazis really well, you'd be like, oh fuck, like like they were really good in that film, you know. When you play a villain really well, villains are harder to do because you have to justify their whole fucking MO. So like Mike Vogel is really, really, really good in that scene where he's like literally scaring the shit out of Shakira Barrera in Collection. And we shot it in Alabama, and it was a feminist anthem, but it's also like humanist. It's all about the guys. It's all about guys who's like swindle people. It's about collectors who come and like try and, just when people have debt, they're like sort of loan sharks, but when people have debt, they come and stress them out and they basically steal their money. And it's a racket, you know what I mean? So when I was telling Mina Singh about Collection, my cinematographer, I met with her at Matcha. God, when Matcha Bar was still there on Sunset Boulevard. Now it's a fucking donut place. But it used to be literally the best matcha place in LA. It's gone. But anyway, if you want to get a good matcha now, you have to go to Erewhon or Moon Juice. But anyway, it's fine. You can still get a good matcha in LA. But I started matcha in LA, I feel like. But I got Mina Singh to meet me, and I was like, yo, I really want you to do this film with us. We're going to Alabama. And, you know, she said, Mariana, why are you doing a film about the patriarchy? Like, why did you send me the script? It's like all about the patriarchy. It's all about toxic masculinity. And I was like, yeah, but why not have us explore that as a concept as artists? Like, we're the most correct people. We're like the most vibrant people to approach this because we're women and we have something to say about it. And like, let's use that instead of just pretending it's not there. And she was like, huh. And she'd never thought of it like that. Like, I was like, no, like, I loved Mina Singh so much. I like admired her work to the nth degree and just wanted to work with her. So I would have said anything to her, but I was like, no, I do believe that it's like dry rot inside the wall. The toxic masculinity is there. You can't ignore it. Your wall's going to fall down. You know what I mean? Like, you need a fucking wall. These old Victorian, these tenements, if there's dry rot in them, you have to clean it out and get it out. Clean it, pay for it, fucking swallow that thing and go, now there's no dry rot in the wall. Like, now we can live, you know? And she liked that analogy. Or I said a rotting tooth has decay in it and you can't just leave it there because we'll be fucked. It'll fuck up our whole mouth. Just get that one bit out and put a filling in. We'll be fine. That's what we're going to do in Alabama. Like, go to Alabama, do this thing about toxic masculinity, but we're all women. We'll do these 8-hour days. Mina and I were coming in 8-hour days instead of 12-hour days. We'd planned for 12-hour days. Like, our first AD had scheduled for a 12-hour day, and I kept overachieving with my cast because I had so prepared them and I had so prepared with Mina. We'd shortlisted and we'd done so much preparation that we didn't have to do any chewing the fat or anything. We didn't have to discuss like 25 things on set because everyone was just executing what we knew we were doing. And the cast were like, oh, you know, there's this ABCD version of it. You do this color and we'll do that. And, you know, we'll try this different version of it. That's fun. But, you know, we have fun on the day or whatever, but it's not like you just suddenly having a conversation about your character for the first time at that moment. That never happens. So that's why we had to have a family meeting, like the middle of the shoot, because our first, she said, we're overachieving so much, like we have to like, you guys have to slow down or something. Like, we have to reschedule, basically, because we're overachieving. And then it was one of the days where we had this longest meeting about how are we going to stop overachieving. It was so funny. It was like me and Mina. And Jane was like, I've never dealt with this before, where people are so prepared and everyone's so nice and professional that we're having such a good time, and it was showing, and I've never had to deal with that before. And so we had to do all this. We were like, what are we going to do? Like, what are we going to do with all the free time? Like, we kept sending people home 4 hours early. Like, people would go see their children. Like, dudes were picking kids up from school instead of, like, other people having to. Like, it was all this cool shit. And then Mike Vogel came up to me in the middle of this conversation. He was like, excuse me, Mariana, do you mind if we, like, get a different truck for my character? Because I feel like, or a different car for my character, because I feel like he's such a fucking badass. Like, why would he have this shit car? And I was like, it's such a good point, man. Like, I understand what you're saying. And, like, he should have, like, a fucking awesome truck. So let's, like, take the time to... And I was like, you know what? That might take a lot of time to get a new truck. Like, let's do that, you know? And Mike was like, are you sure you guys want to, like, spend time on this? And we were like, Mina and Jane and I had just been saying, how can we spend more time on something? Because we were overachieving. We're like, yes, we would love to get a totally new car for your character. Let's just go find a new one and get it sent here. And even if it takes like an hour, we'll just wait for it. That'd be great. We need to spend some time like that on something. And it was the funniest reaction. I think Mike was like, why did they love that idea so much? Like, you don't know what the triangle is, like what the triangle's talking about when it's the first AD, the director, and the cinematographer were saying such like shorthand shit to each other. It's so ridiculous, the stuff we say. Because we're planning and we're saying, oh, well, it's this and it's that, and we'll do this other thing. And then we do. And then if something changes, we have to go, all right, let's have a wee triangle meeting. And all we ever do in a day, on set, you'll always see like that triangle, the DP and the first and the director having like those chats where you go, so much gets solved in those moments. This is making me laugh so much. And then the fucking car, the truck that he ended up with, the truck Mike Vogel had was so worth waiting for. It was so beautiful. And I was like, oh my God, now he gets to like have his gold and he gets to have his amazing outfits and he looks good and his character has like the right vehicle. But we were looking for stuff like that. It was a Johnny Cash town. We shot in Birmingham, Alabama. We shot where Johnny Cash wrote, because there's a train. He wrote Folsom Prison. And you go, okay, mate, like that is crazy that he was here, Johnny Cash was here, and he was under this bridge where we shot so much of the under the bridge stuff with Shaq. You go, that shit is beautiful. I just had such a blast, and Natalie came to visit me on the set. And I was like, hey, Natalie, I want you to come and see what we're doing so you can like feel the music vibes. And Natalie was like, why is everything in this town called BAM? Like, why is there BAM everywhere? Like, are you a BAM's wife? Are you going to marry a BAM in the future? Like, what's happening? I can't remember what she was saying, but she was giving me so much chat. I was like, I don't know where I thought I was BAM's wife from, but it's because in Scotland, BAM means something totally different than what they call their own state. I was like, no, like all of these people call their own state Alabama. No, call their own state BAM. So they're like, it's BAM, it's this, it's BAM this, it's BAM that. And all the things that people talk about in Glasgow is a BAM this, a BAM that. So this is the same thing. Same word, totally different meaning. Because I think a BAM in Glasgow means like a Ned with a car. Which if you actually think about it is probably true. And there's a lot of people who are BAMs and they didn't know they were BAMs. And if you're a Ned and you get a car, then you're a BAM. You become a BAM. I believe that. So, and I can say that because I was in a film called Ned's. I had red hair in that film and red eyebrows. Okie dokie. So I had to say this because of the Robert Redford song. Robert Redford! Your lips taste like sangria. It's something about the cold, that the cold also in Sundance makes you want to sit inside and talk to other artists. You're not like, oh, standing outside. Like California, all the cunts stand outside and chat. Like if you see a play or you go to a music show, you stand outside and you chat because it's sunny as fuck. It's hot as hell. Even in the winter, it's warm enough to just stand outside on the street and talk. And that's where all your ideas come from, because you get to do that with your pals. But in Sundance, you have to be indoors. You're in these music venues, or you're in a cinema, or you're in like a wee apple shop, a wee like sweet apple, toffee apple shop, also bookshop on Main Street. You're in like a diner, or you're in like the sushi place, fuck's sake. Oh my God, the food there's so good. But anyway, you're in these places and you sit inside because it's cold, and you talk, and do you know what I mean? Like the year Lucy Walker and I were there, we just kept going to the Thai place. Like the year I was there, like meeting a lot of like playwrights, it was all about going to this one restaurant at the bottom of their hotel. You know, like it was always different places. You end up going different years, and I swear to God, I've been all around that place and then some. And when I went for Good Dick, the first time I went, obviously, to Sundance, I didn't have clothes because somehow my luggage got lost on like the 2-hour flight that it is from LA to Sundance. And I was like, Cora and Jen, I lost my luggage, I lost my dresses, I lost my knickers. And my mum had arrived from Glasgow to be like, I'm here to see your film. And I was like, oh my God. I was like meeting her at 9 a.m. the next day. And I looked fucking mental. I looked crazy. I don't know what I was wearing. I was wearing my clothes from the night before. I smelled bad. I was wearing my travel clothes from LA. I had like some fucking white linen dress I was wearing on the plane with like white trousers and a white boot. And I was like, I'll just have to wear this the whole fucking festival, because I did wear it the whole festival because I didn't have any clothes. And when you're there, it's not like they can be like, yo, let's all like go shopping for your knickers or something. Like, and I think Cora and Jen, my producers, were like, do you want to borrow our knickers? And maybe I fucking borrowed their knickers, but I don't know. I probably said no, or I don't know. I was like, I was so desperate. I probably did. I can't even fucking remember. Cora and Jen remind me if I did or not, because that's like a thing I blocked out, because I was like, I was not there for the fashion. But it was also like, for anyone to lose their luggage, people were like, it's good it was Mariana, because some other lady would have been like, I can not go on. Like some other woman would have like panicked. And I was like, oh, this is easier for me. I don't even have to worry about it. What else? Because there's so many times where you go, oops, that was a wild one. Getting the Sundance jackets, the director's jacket, you go to this part of the festival, you go to the headquarters, and you show your lanyard like that, but it's not a crystal, it's like your name and your film. Oops, and it says director. And if it says director, you can get a director's jacket, and they give you these director's puffy jackets so you're warm, because everyone's always cold. And if you're indoors, like I'm thinking of Sean Astin, who's like the head of SAG. I voted for him. I voted for him as a Goonie to be the head of our SAG world. Anyway, I'm glad he won. But I was thinking about Robert Redford saying, yeah, if Sundance, you sit inside and you like, are there artists who are always like sitting inside and collaborating indoors because it's freezing outside. So it's like that cozy thing where you have a fire and everybody's cozy and it feels really good. So the thing about the jackets, and my mom is so funny because my mom lives in Scotland, so she obviously needs like big jackets and coats and stuff. So like there was times where I would just be like, oh, there's so many puffy jackets from Sundance, and I'd give them to my mom. So my mom has like every year of Sundance jacket that I ever went there on her, and she can wear it like a different time depending on where she's going in Glasgow. And she's got the Sundance jacket, she's got every Sundance volunteers jacket, because I would swap my director's jacket with the volunteers, because the volunteers jacket was like thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of people, I'm not joking, would come and volunteer at the festival for free, and they're standing outside in the cold and like taking your ticket, or they're like cleaning the theatre after, whatever the fuck they're doing, they're literally the reason the festival happens. So, oh my God, like I would swap their like uniform for my like, there's like only so many directors at Sundance and there's so many more volunteers. So I would always switch my director's jacket with one of the volunteers, just like go up to a random volunteer every year and be like, hey, do you want my director's jacket? And you give me your volunteer's one. So my mom has like every volunteer's jacket from every year as well, because I did that. And I felt like I could give back to this festival that had given me everything made me a judge, made me a juror, made me a host of the award show, like everything. Had all my movies go there as a director and an actress and all this fucking shit, like everything. So yes, that's part of what we're talking about, and I have to say goodbye just now because I'm making like a chicken pie. Making a chicken pie, so I have to eat it now.